of God's word that has brought us to the place of accountability. If you need it, you build it. Many times people think that they can have a relationship. You can't have a relationship. In the pursuit of purpose and love, whatever you need must be created. I mean, I took this culture, I took this culture from God actually. In the book Genesis chapter 1, everything that was created came from the desire of God. God desired it, He spoke it out, and it was created. It's so funny in my generation. Sometimes when people call me for counseling and I'm talking to them on the phone and they are telling me, all desired before the relationship ever started, you know, saying, I expected her to be this, I expected him to be this, I expected him to do this for me, I expected her to do this for me. Listening to the desires of people before they started dating the individual, and then weeks and months interval into the relationship, and they are frustrated because they are not seeing what they expected before they entered into the relationship. When that happens, they become dissatisfied and they actually think the problem is the man. They actually think the problem is the lady. But here is it: every relationship you desire, you have to intentionally create it. You don't have, many people say, let's have a relationship. You cannot have a relationship with someone until you learn how to create a relationship with someone. And here is where Amos chapter 3, verse 3 comes in. Can two walk together except they agree? Now, before you start a relationship, you must first of all define the relationship that you see or you have in your mind as a man. You must be able to define it. Now, if the relationship that you have in mind is not the relationship the lady wants to have, there's going to be a problem because two people can be in a relationship and they have two different interests. So, if you desire any relationship, whatever status of the relationship is going to be, you have to create it. You know, sometimes it's so good and funny at the same time to see some men says, "Oh, I want my wife to be like that man's wife." Really, the question is, are you ready to cooperate with your wife to create that kind of relationship with her? So those that are single, I want to put this, before you, that this fantasizing and imagining and desiring, it's not going to help you out until you come to that place to really ask yourself the kind of relationship I desire. First of all, is this suitable and helpful for my purpose? Is this suitable and helpful for my journey in life? Then the next question is, what kind of a lady can cooperate with me to create this kind of relationship? That is it. If you desire it, you must create it. If you desire it, you must create it. If you don't create it, that is not going to happen. But for a relationship to start, you must find someone that have a mutual interest for the kind of relationship that you want to build. You want to build a relationship that is peaceful, you must identify a lady that believes in a relationship that is peaceful. Now, this brings me to the place of values. You cannot build a relationship without values. You cannot. And this is the reason why many people are frustrated in relationship. In the pursuit of your purpose and love, you cannot succeed if you do not understand values. And values are the belief system, what you have choose to believe as a reality. That's what your values are all about. It's important to identify who respects your value and who is ready to cooperate with your values as a man, and also as a lady to see a man that respects your value and is ready to cooperate with your values, because people will treat you according to what they believe. Oh, yes. People will always treat you according to what they believe. So, the kind of relationship you want to build with this person, does this person even believe in the reality of this kind of relationship you want to build? What are the values of this person? Some people just believe like relationship is boring if there is no friction, like in the space of 1 week or 2 weeks. They are not just comfortable that a relationship is peaceful for 1 week. No, they just say it's boring. By themselves, with themselves, they'll create a toxic conversation, a toxic environment. They'll just create something that there will be argument, there will be strife. They are not comfortable until they are strife. They have strife, or they intentionally bring strife into the relationship. This is a factor of their belief system and what they have seen as a norm in their lives. So the kind of relationship you want to build is based on what you have choose to believe. If you want to build a relationship or you want to create a relationship whereby there is healthy conversation, you need to identify a man or a lady that also believe in conversation or healthy communication. You cannot pray yourself into a good relationship. You cannot pray yourself into a healthy relationship. When I say you cannot pray yourself, it doesn't mean that prayer has no role to play, but prayer is supposed to position you, number one, to make sure you have a healthy value, and number two, to help you recognize the person that has healthy values. When we have these in place, then you can now create the kind of relationship that you want to create. So, my question to you as I come to the end of this section of teaching is, what do you believe about love? What do you believe about communication? What do you believe about women? What do you believe about men? What do you believe about trust? What do you believe about commitment? Because you would always treat your partner according to what you choose to believe, and your partner will treat you according to what they have choose to believe. So it's time for you to emphasize on the status of these individuals' values and your values. And if both of you have values that does not respect the authority of Jesus, then there is going to be a problem. Hear me. Stop wishing and stop desiring a healthy relationship, and cultivate values that can make you to cooperate with an individual who can agree with your values to build a healthy relationship. There are people that everything about their relationship is always outside. When they have a conversation with their lover, their friends knows it, their family member knows it, everybody knows it. And with someone that believes in privacy in relationship, it's going to be a problem. So stop desiring and build a healthy values, and recognize who can agree with your healthy values, and both of you can build together. That's the question that you should always ask yourself. Is this individual ready to build the kind of relationship that I have in mind? And that's why, as a man, you need to define where you are going to. This is where I'm going to. This is what I want to do. This is my life assignment. This is what I believe. Do you agree? And if the lady do not believe and agree, let her go in peace. It's not every lady you desire to have a relationship with, you should have a relationship with. It's not every man you desire to have a relationship, you should have a relationship. Values matters, because if your values are opposite, there is no effort you put into the relationship that will work. So if you desire it, you build it. And most of all, and most importantly, you need to recognize a man or a lady that has the mindset of building a relationship, not a mindset of having a relationship. Some people don't put in the effort. They don't do anything, but they want the best result. They want a man to be committed to them, but no effort. They want a lady to be loyal to them, but no effort. They want a relationship to be strong, but there is no truthfulness from them. There is no honesty from them. And that's the problem. You cannot have the best and not giving your best. And most importantly, you cannot give in your best when your values are not healthy. Some ladies just believe that the relationship should evolve around them. Some men just believe that until they inflict fear into the lady, that even when they're calling the lady on the phone, the lady will be literally shivering. Then the relationship is not healthy. So please, when next someone says, I'm interested in you as a lady, ask the person, what do you believe about relationship, about commitment, about trust, about conversation, about a man, about a lady? No matter how anybody desires to love you, and no matter how anybody is loving you, if their love for you does not respect, or how they love you does not respect your values that are, of course, defined by the scriptures, you're going to be frustrated. I have walked away from relationships that the lady honestly, sincerely loved me, but her values are shocking me. And she does not see anything bad with it. So it's possible to love someone and yet you can't build a relationship with the person because your values are different. So it's important to place respect on values. And if your values are not right, your values are built on your experiences, your past pain, and emotional trauma and childhood trauma, I think you need to get it right. Get it right. You would always treat people according to what you believe. So, what do you really believe about relationship? What do you really believe about love? What do you really believe about commitment? Because if your beliefs are wrong, no matter your effort, no matter how sincere you are, no matter how truthful you want to be, you will not be able to build the kind of relationship that will place a value on your future. I hope you've gotten value for your time. Well, if you have not subscribed, this is the time for you to hit the subscribe button and put a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay. In the description attached to this video, you'll find ways to buy our ebooks. And of course, you can make donations to help us push this truth to the rest of the people in different nations and continents. If this helps you, share to others and understand you don't pray yourself into a healthy relationship. You can pray for God to give you the wisdom to build a healthy relationship, but you can't pray yourself into it without an intentional effort of cultivating healthy values and recognizing a person that has a healthy value, of course, the opposite gender, and then practically putting the effort to build that relationship. This is the voice of Apostle Prince Victor Matthew. And remember, hope expression values you.